Now I'd like to call the meeting to order for April 12th, 2020. I'd ask Miss Cindy to make roll call.
Ms. Richards?
Present.
Mr. Toller?
Present.
Ms. Abrams?
Here.
Mr. Westmoreland?
Present.
Mr. Duncan? Mr. Bush?
Here.
Mr. Moore?
Here.
Ms. Simmons?
Here.
Ms. Dominguez?
Present.
Move on to Pledge of Allegiance. Miss Richards.
At this time, we're honored to have Rosalind Montessori School 8th grade Student of the Year, Ivan Dunwan, and 5th grade Student of the Year, Harmony Burton, will lead us of the pledge. Thank you.
Please run in the proper salute.
Moving on to C, consider approval of board minutes of March 15, 2022. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Ms. Ryman, second by Ms. Sandra. Any discussion?
Just 1 second.
Call for a vote.
Just 1 second. Voting is open. We're voting on the board minutes, Mr. Duncan.
Yes.
Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
Moving on to awards and recognitions, we'd like to recognize the recipients of the Enos Jake Bailey Jr. Above and Beyond Award. Ms. Simmons?
All right, and we'd like to call up Mr. Andrew Williams, and Miss Cece, and Miss Lisa Fusell, and you two.
We'd like to present this certificate of recognition to Andrew Williams, Technology Department, SIS Data Analyst, in recognition of being the recipient of the Edith F. J. Bailey Award. And I myself wrote this little note since I am the one that established this award in honor of my late husband, Edith F. J. Bailey. He was on the school board for 28 years. And I keep this going to honor what all he did for the system. And also, too, I will never forget, he used to come home from the board meetings, and he would talk about various ones at the school board level, secretaries or anybody that worked in the system, and brag on how they treated him or how they greeted him. And because of that, we do the same thing for individuals in our system. And we have such an individual here tonight, and I wrote this to Mr. Williams, congratulations on being awarded the Edith F. J. Bailey Above and Beyond Award. You have been chosen for this award because of you being so willing to provide much needed reports to various departments that results in saving grant writers many hours of work, and that means a lot. And you always do so with a smile. Thank you for all that you do. May God bless you and your family. And then you have a gift certificate from us from Taco Bell. And then you present the award.
Mr. Williams is a man of few words, so I will not
I embarrass him by going on and on about all that he does for us, but I'll just give you one quick story. So, in our SIS department, you know, Mr. Williams, and he works with Mr. Saragusa, Ms. Larkin, they have all this data about our system that comes through. And there's lots of reports available, but sometimes there's just something you want that you just don't know if you can have somebody pull it together. This is also an example of why students need to go through every credential and computer systems that you possibly can. So one day, it was a couple of weeks ago, I was about to go to a meeting. It was literally 5 minutes to the meeting started. And I thought, if only I had this piece of data to show what I'm talking about. So I dial his number, try to explain it. He also has to decipher like what we're trying to ask for, since it doesn't exist and stuff. So I told him, and he's like, I said, but it's in 5 minutes, you might have to do it. He said, I think I got it. Literally hung up, poof, Dean came in, there was the report I needed, I walked into a meeting. That's when I said, you know, he's always amazing, but this just takes the cake, 5 minutes. So Ms. Lanier, who I'm going to ask to come up, we were meeting, I said, I don't know what we would do without Mr. Williams. She said, I'm nominating him. I said, I did too. So that's how special you are. 2 people didn't even know both nominations.
The federal funding that y'all all see from Title I and stuff like that, so kind of relate to being the IRS. So it's great when we give the money out, but then when we need information back, we don't have to deal with IRS. Andrew, I can call and say, I need this, and this is how the U.S. Department of Ed needs it, State Department, and he makes it so easy and it's there. And he makes my life wonderful. He is the Superman of data, and he has saved me on all the United States Department of Ed reports and stuff because he can just produce it. So he's just wonderful. We really appreciate it. I'd like to recognize any family or anybody that came to represent you. Would you stand, whoever you are, or wave at us? Family, good evening.
Give it to Brett and Randy to sign.
Gotta change the battery. Good evening. Yes. Okay, while Ms. Jenkins is changing the battery, I'll just hold this one. We'll use this one. At this time in our program and on our agenda, we have 3 of our board members that we want to recognize. Although all of our board are extra special, and I really enjoy working with them, and they make the work of the school district really easy and meeting our goals and objectives that we're trying to accomplish every day. I have 3 board members that I want to recognize tonight. So I'd like to ask Ms. Sandra Bailey Simmons, Ms. Rose Dominguez, and Ms. Janice Fultz to come down and join me up front. And I'm going to tell you why we're going to recognize them tonight. So every year, the school board members are required by law to complete service hours, learning service hours. They have to attend classes, and they have to stay up to date. And all of our board members do that. Ms. Janice Richards, who represents the Kentwood area. Then we have Ms. Sandra Bailey Simmons, And she's, well, LaRonda, you have a whole lot of different areas. And Miss Rose Dominguez, who's mostly Champ Cooper, Ponchatoula, BDCO area. So all of our board members are required to do the service hours, and the requirement is 6 hours a year, and they have to keep those updated. We have to submit them to the State Department of Education, the BESI, or, and then also the School Boards Association. These three members have completed over 20 hours or more, so they're our overachievers. So they have actually achieved more than just the 6 required. And so these are certificates that are given by the Louisiana School Board Association, which is the state agency in which most school boards members belong to. And it's a certificate of merit. It has the board member's name on it and the school system in which they represent. And it says here for voluntarily completing not only the 6 hours that are required by law, but also by going above and beyond and attaining the 20 or more continuing learning units as well for this year. And it's signed by Dr. Janet Pope, the executive director. So I have one for Miss Janice Richards. I'd like to present that to her. Miss Sandra Bailey Simmons, and Miss Rose Dominguez. And also I want to mention that I guess it was about 6 weeks ago, we had our Louisiana State Board meeting in Baton Rouge, and we have actually Miss Rose Dominguez is the president-elect for this whole state of Louisiana. So we have, congratulations. So it makes us Tangi proud to have a board member that's actually elected by school boards across the whole state of Louisiana now. They had to elect her as the president-elect to represent them on the state board. So we want to congratulate you publicly and officially, and thank you for that. And then we had our board members all participate in our conference that we had about 6 weeks ago in Baton Rouge, taking their courses, keeping up with their 6 hours, and many of them have actually more than 6 hours, but not over 20, like these 3 particular board members have this year. But every year it could be different. So next year we could have 3 or 4 board members that have gone over the 20. So we'll see next year who may meet that threshold mark. Ms. Dominguez, is there anything you'd like to say about the state board since you're the president-elect?
I would like to. Thank you so much. I'm a little hoarse from enjoying the Strawberry Festival this weekend. I don't know if any of you went, but it was quite a success. But I'm so proud to be able to represent our parish as well as all of our area on the state board for education. It's very important that we always put the children in our education systems first, and that's what we do. We legislate and lobby. Right now, we're lobbying for education on the Capitol over there in Baton Rouge, and it's to keep up with all those bills that are coming out every day to make sure that they pass proper things or don't pass things that we know is going to terribly affect us. So I'm really honored to be able to do that, and I have been serving several years now, worked my way up to get this position, so I'm really proud. And also I would like to recognize our assistant superintendent, Mr. Jinko. He is just qualified to be in our new class that starts in the end of this month. For superintendent training, learning. It's a class that we provide, and it's a strenuous course to improve people who want to be superintendents. So, Mr. Jinko. So we're honored that he's going to be able to be a part of that class, and we know he'll get some super training as well. So thank you, Ms. Stilley, for allowing the board members to go to the conference to learn. It's very important that we do keep up with everything and have training, and that's what makes us better. So we appreciate the system allowing us to go and to get our learning credits.
Yeah. Ms. Jenkins, would you like to take a picture?
Sure.
Moving on at this time, we're going to recognize the winner of the SEL logo contest, Mr. Jinko.
Good evening, everyone. This is my most favorite board meeting of the year. Because just look around, you have an incredible future, not only in front of this community, this parish, but this state with this group of individuals here, okay? So parents, thank you for choosing Tangipahoa Parish School System. Students, thank you for being all that you can be each and every day, and best of luck to you as you move forward throughout your career. So we're here today, I have Miss Amy Fairchild and Miss Crystal Hooper. We're starting something in the system called social emotional learning. As everyone is aware, we have been through, this community and the state and the nation has been through some unusual challenges the last 2 years, and our students and our employees need some help. And we're not talking math, English, science, and social studies. Sometimes they just need someone to talk to, someone to listen to them, someone to say, hey, it's going to be okay. We're right here with you, paddling in the same boat. So Ms. Fairchild and Ms. Hooper are taking on that responsibility for us, and we thank them each and every day. So as we're starting this new initiative, if you were to Google non-artistic, talented individuals, my face is coming up, okay? Absolutely no artistic ability. So when they said, look, we need to have a logo, a design for our social emotional learning, I said, ladies, go get them. Okay? Do what you need to do, and they did. So we put a competition out there to our students to design a logo for our social emotional learning campaign that we've initially started, and we look forward to really going full speed ahead in August when we come back. So they put the awards, they put the competition out there. We had a great group of individuals that put forth the design. The committee went back and forth and finally chose a winner. And we have our winner here tonight. We'd like to recognize him and let him know that he's going to get a $100 gift certificate award that your school has ready for you. And our winner tonight is Bayron Rico. I can tell by his smile I messed his name up. Byron Rico, I do apologize for that. I can tell by his smile that I messed up. So we want to congratulate you and thank you for
Let's take a picture.
I'd like to recognize his family. Raise your hand. I would say stand up, but half of us are standing up. So thank you.
Now we will recognize the 2021-2022 Student of the Year, Ms. Ryan.
Good evening. I'm so excited to be here honoring these students tonight. This is definitely my favorite night of the year. And not just recognizing these students, but recognizing the teachers, the administrators, and all of the families here that represent these students, because we know that it really does take a village. So we're excited to announce the winners of our Student of the Year. We're going to start with 5th grade, so when you hear your name, please come forward, get your certificate. From Amy Westside Middle Magnet School, Jamie Butler. From Chesbro Elementary School, Desmond Cruz. From Greenville Park Leadership Academy, Jalen Andrews. Jalen's at home with the flu, so we wish him well. From Hammond Eastside Magnet School, Tyler Parise. From Hammond Westside Montessori School, Morgan Young. From Independence Magnet School, Vanessa Ocho. From Laranja Middle School, Richard Ziegler. From Lucille Nisa Memorial School, Aaron Ferguson. He looks so nice in his sweater. Natalbany Middle School, Jamori Williams. Jamori's not with us tonight. From O.W. Dillon Leadership Academy, Braylon O'Connor. From Roseland Montessori School, Harmony Burton. From Southeastern Louisiana University Lab School, Jax Sandifer. From Spring Creek Elementary School, Simone Simpson. And from Martha Vineyard Elementary School, Samaya Jackson. So those were our school winners, and they all came. They had to complete a portfolio, and they had to come up to the central office for an interview. And from there, we chose the district winner. Our 5th grade District Student of the Year winner has earned an AB honor roll since kindergarten. He is a yellow belt and wants to be a wrestler when he gets older. He would like to be part of the effort to put an end to pollution. His motto is that you can do anything if you put your mind to it. Please put your hands together for our newest 5th grade Tangipahoa Parish Student of the Year from SLU Lab School, Mr. Jax Sandifer. And our 8th grade school winners from Amy Westside Middle Magnet School, Lakin Janae McGarry. Lakin is not with us tonight. From Greenville Park Leadership Academy, Leah Sanders. From Hammond Eastside Magnet School, Peyton Harrell. From Hammond Westside Montessori School, Aaron Dunn. From Independence Magnet School, Adam Saragusa. From Kentwood High Magnet School, Caden Reed. From Laranja Middle School, Allie Career. From Lucille Nisa Memorial School, Teresa Wynn. From Natalbany Middle School, Torian Youngblood. From Ponchatoula Junior High School, Malachi Russell. From Roseland Montessori School, Ivan Donwan. From Southeastern Louisiana University Lab School, Tyler LeBay. From Sumner Middle School, Carly Baker. Our 8th grade district Student of the Year winner loves the arts. He has performed songs and dances, and he is currently learning the piano and actually arranging his own pieces. Being an athlete has taught this Student of the Year about discipline, perseverance, and mental stability. Although he has not yet made a decision on what he wants to do in the future, becoming a lawyer or going into sports medicine are two options he is heavily considering. Whatever he decides, he is ready to face the challenges the future holds by continuing to learn and grow from his mistakes. He will always strive to be respectful, compassionate, and great. Please help me congratulate our 8th grade Tangipahoa Parish Student of the Year, also from SLU Lab School, Mr. Tyler LeBay. And our 12th grade Student of the Year winners, from Amite High School, Stanley Williams. From Hammond High Magnet School, Ashton Lee. From Independence High Magnet School, Jose Pina. From Kentwood High Magnet School, Jalen Pillows. From Laranja High School, Hannah Habis-Ridinger. And from Ponchatoula High School, George Griffin III. Our 12th grade Student of the Year is his school's Beta Club president, a National Honor Society member, Student Council Senior Vice President, Math Club president, a member of Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and a member of the varsity swim team. If that doesn't impress you enough, he is also the state president of the Louisiana Beta Club, Youth Advocacy Team Vice President of Governmental Affairs, Louisiana Legislative Youth Advisory Council Education Committee Chair member, and our very own student voice of Tangipahoa Parish School System's tax ad. I'm sure you remember seeing him a lot. He volunteers at Laranja Baptist Church, Louisiana, Louisiana World Peace Day, School Beautification Days, Our Daily Bread in Hammond, and many, many more places, and does all of these things while still holding down a job at North Cypress Fitness Center. With his 4.0 grade point average, it is no surprise that he has been voted as most likely to succeed by his senior class. It's no shock that he intends on attending college to pursue a degree in political science. Without further ado, it is my honor and my privilege to announce our 12th grade Tangipahoa Parish Student of the Year from Hammond High Magnet School, Mr. Ashton Lee.
Now we'd like to recognize the 2021-2022 senior superlatives. Ms. Lauza.
Good evening. Tonight we will recognize 24 young men and women from across our parish who have earned an exemplary score on one of the nation's most prestigious tests, the ACT. The average score nationally is 21, while the highest score possible is 36. The students we are recognizing tonight have a minimum score of 28. Please come forward when your name is called and remain standing until all the recipients from your school have been acknowledged. The following students attend Hammond High Magnet School. Kayla Edwards is from Hammond, and she is the daughter of Melinda and Patrick Edwards. Kayla scored 30 on her ACT and plans to attend SLU and major in chemistry. Nathan Gendron is from Hammond, and he is the son of Corey Gendron. Dorian Hurst is from Hammond, and he is the son of Kenyatta Johnson. Dorian scored 28 on his ACT and plans to attend LSU and major in film and television. Joshua Laura is from Hammond, and he is the son of Johnny Laura. Joshua scored 28 on his ACT and plans to attend LSU and major in engineering. Kendall May is from Tickfaw, and she is the daughter of Nikki and Shane May. Kendall scored 30 on her ACT and plans to attend SLU and major in biology and agriculture. Skyla Stanley is from Tickfaw, and she is the daughter of Christina and David Stanley. Skyla scored 32 on her ACT and plans to attend the University of Southern Mississippi and major in biomedical science.
Hey, you starting something now. Let's go to the Greenway. What you say now?
Ms.
Hey, sir.
Gatos?
Congratulations, young man.
Ms.
You are-
Gatos?
The following students attend Laranger High School. Hannah Habis Reitinger is from Hammond, and she is the daughter of Margaret Habis Reitinger. Hannah scored 33 on her ACT and plans to attend the University of Louisiana at Monroe and major in pre-med. Danielle Joseph is from Independence, and she is the daughter of Torrance and Shelley Joseph. Danielle scored 32 on her ACT and plans to attend the University of Southern Mississippi and major in kinesiology. Madison Shields is from Hammond, and she is the daughter of Celeste and Sean Shields. Madison scored 30 on her ACT and plans to attend SLU and major in psychology. Abby Vollenweider is from Laranger, and she is the daughter of Maggie and Kevin Vollenweider. Abby scored 31 on her ACT and plans to attend SLU and major in nursing. The following students attend Ponchatoula High School. Joseph DePaula is from Hammond, and he is the son of Daryl DePaula. Joseph scored 34 in the ACT and plans to attend the University of Chicago and major in history. Jake Fletcher is from Ponchatoula, and he is the son of Ginger Fletcher. Jake scored 30 on the ACT and plans to attend LSU and major in mechanical engineering. Noah Holman is from Ponchatoula, and he is the son of Miranda Holman and Woody Holman. Noah scored 32 on the ACT and plans to attend SLU and major in computer science. Bo Johnson is from Ponchatoula, and he is the son of Anita and Mark Becknell, Jeff Johnson, and Rebecca Alston. Bo scored 33 on the ACT and plans to major in aerospace engineering at a university to be determined later. Caitlin LeBlanc is from Hammond, and she is the daughter of Susan LeBlanc. Caitlin scored 30 on the ACT and plans to attend SLU and major in biology. Abigail Lesashare is from Ponchatoula, and she is the daughter of Ryan and Jessica Lesashare. Abigail scored 30 on the ACT and plans to attend LSU and major in physics with a concentration in medical physics. Gabrielle Lewis is from Ponchatoula, and she is the daughter of Marie and Walter Lewis. Gabrielle scored 30 on the ACT and plans to attend Xavier University of New Orleans and major in biology pre-med. Brennan Slade is from Ponchatoula, and he is the son of Joanna and Benny Slade. Brennan scored 30 on the ACT and plans to attend SLU and major in computer science. Autumn Smedley is from Ponchatoula, and she is the daughter of Danielle Smedley. Autumn scored 28 on the ACT and plans to attend SLU and major in art education. Nathan Starkey is from Ponchatoula, and he is the son of Eric and Amy Starkey. Nathan scored 29 on the ACT and plans to attend SLU and major in English with a concentration in creative writing. Cale Vicnair is from Ponchatoula, and he is the son of Crystal Vicnair. Cale scored 31 on the ACT and plans to attend SLU and major in computer science. Presley Walls is from Ponchatoula, and she is the daughter of Gary Walls and Rebecca Walls. Presley scored 30 on the ACT, 29 on the composite, and plans to attend University of Louisiana at Lafayette and major in biology with a concentration in veterinary sciences. Dr. Caminita is out, but we do have one of her APs, Miss Christy Atkins. The following students attend Sumner High School. Waylon Saragusa is from Amite, and he is the son of Catherine Saragusa and Matthew Saragusa. Waylon scored 30 on the ACT and plans to attend University of Lafayette and major in biology. Gavin Tate is from Kentwood, and he is the son of Vicky Tate and Joey Tate. Gavin scored 28 on the ACT and plans to attend LSU and major in psychology.
You see Mr. Bates?
Is Miss Matthews or someone from Sumner High here
Coach
tonight?
Patel is.
Ain't nothing like being called out.
Same hill.
Thank you. Congratulations to all of our students. You're the best of Tangipahoa Parish. We're proud of you.
And I know this is probably going to take the whole audience, but if you are a parent of one of these children or a guardian and you're here to support them, I want you to stand up too. And kids, give your parents and your guardians a big one. Grandparents, anybody.
At this time, we're going to take a 5-minute recess, and if y'all want to exit, are y'all free to stay and watch the rest of the meeting, but we will be here a while.
Channel 17, proudly serving the Florida parishes.
Call the meeting back to order. This time we'll move on to academic update. Update on the virtual learning option by Dr. Shannon Nickens, virtual learning coordinator, Ms. Fusell.
Good evening. We asked Dr. Nickens to come tonight to update you all on our virtual learning option. I think we all remember, that we started this because of the pandemic 2020, say a couple of years ago. And we, like the rest of the nation, quickly realized that virtual learning is not the best option for the masses. However, what we realized, and some districts have abandoned the idea completely, but what we realized as a district is that we do have a population of students who that is a good option for them. We have students who've left us for K-12 online learning that we want them to know we have an option to service them here in Tazewell Parish School System. So Dr. Shannon Nickens applied to be the coordinator of the virtual learning program. We are very fortunate because her background is very diverse. She has certifications not only in leadership, but technology, ESL, reading specialist. So she covers a gambit of services for students with her knowledge and her background. So she was challenged with, how do we make the program effectively work for students who fit the criteria for this type of learning? So tonight she's going to give you an update on this. And by the way, it's her birthday. So she's here on her birthday. Dr. Nickens.
Good evening, Superintendent Stilley and members of the school board. I appreciate you having me here tonight. I would like to present to you TPSS Virtual Learning Program. When the virtual program started this year, we knew that we needed to begin with a purpose. Okay. We needed a mental image of what we wanted to achieve as a program and give us something to look forward to in the future. So as a result, we created our vision statement to provide TPSS students with flexible and rigorous online learning opportunities that will help them acquire the knowledge, skills, and characteristics necessary for college and career readiness. From the vision statement, we needed a more concise explanation of the program's reason for existence. As a result, we created a mission statement. The mission statement supports our vision and serves to communicate the purpose and direction of our program to all stakeholders. Our mission statement is by providing a rigorous, relevant, cutting-edge, technology-based education. The TPSS Virtual Learning Program prepares students for college, careers, and for the global community of lifelong learners by engaging one student at a time. The Virtual Learning Program currently employs 13 teachers. We have one teacher that services our K-2 population and teaches all subjects. We have 2 teachers in grades 3 to 5. One teacher teaches ELA and social studies through that grade band, and the other is math and science. 2 teachers for 6th through 8th grade band, again an ELA and social studies teacher and a math and science teacher. We have 4 core teachers for high school. That covers our English 1, 2, 3, and 4. A math teacher, Algebra 1, Geometry, Advanced Math, Algebra 3. A science teacher, so physical science, biology, chemistry, environmental science. And then social studies, so civics, world geography, U.S. history. We have 2 elective teachers for high school who teach a variety of subjects. Virtual workplace, entrepreneurship, FCS, and then some classes that we are not able to teach live, so we use a program called Edgenuity. Those elective teachers monitor that program. And I have 2 SPED teachers on staff that service our SPED population, so one teacher services K-8, and then a high school SPED teacher. I have a part-time counselor on staff that comes to us 1 day a week. And then we hired a secretary for our virtual program in February of 2022. Our teachers are typically set up in workstations which feature a riser on their desk with dual monitors and a webcam. Each teacher has a headset with a microphone for their daily Zoom lessons. Some teachers choose to stand throughout the day for their lessons while others sit. And the setup now that we have is that elementary and middle school grade bands are in one large classroom that houses 6 teachers. And then we have 2 rooms that house our high school population, which is 4 teachers in one room and 3 in the other. The secretary and I share an office. You can see by the pictures, it's kind of like our daily activities. Our student enrollment numbers are as follows. In June of 2021, we had 586 students apply to be virtual. Of that number, we had to vet the students through the eligibility criteria, and through that, 173 students were rejected. So they were either failing all subjects when they came to us, or they did not go for testing, for a standardized test LEAP, or the principal had discretion of whether they were AP'd or PI'd, administratively placed or promoted with interventions. After we hosted our first orientation, the parents had the option to opt out of the program before we started school. That happened in July, and 50 parents chose to go back to traditional education. So when we started on September 5th, we had an enrollment of 363 students. 56 students came to the virtual program via the medical homebound route, so they missed that deadline to enroll in our program, so they came to us for a semester or longer via a doctor's excuse for medical homebound. In December, we offered an opt-out time where parents and students could choose to return back to their traditional campus. We had 76 students take that option, most of those being high school, wanting to go back to their friends. We did have them complete a survey, and that was the largest reason of them returning back to school and leaving our program. So as of March 5th, we had 247 enrolled in the program. Of that 247, we sent out 131 intent to return. Of that 131, we have 80 who have opted to take us up on that offer and will be returning back to us next year. We sent 41 of what we call sorry, so they have not been performing well with us this year, and we're sending them back to traditional campus next year. We will be graduating 49 seniors, and as of today, we had 191 applicants. Of that 191, some have already completed an intent to return, some were told sorry and applied anyway, and then we have some duplicates that have applied multiple times. Our grade bands are as follows. We have 32 students in grades K to 2, 47 students in grades 3 to 5, 51 students in grades 6 through 8, and then 117 students in our high school grade band. So the next information is what I call basics. It's just some overall information regarding our program. As you know, we operate on an enrollment system, so we are in the middle of enrolling students at this time with the deadline of June 1st. After we have examined each student's records and accepted their enrollment, we'll begin with orientation. Last July, we hosted over 13 orientations to make sure that parents and students understood our program moving forward. Some of the topics we covered during orientation were our expectations. So we covered student expectations, parent expectations, and teacher expectations, which included things like the Zoom schedule, so when we offered our live Zoom classes and when they would have those classes each day. Procedures on checking email each day by both parents and students. Posting and completing assignments on time. Attendance regulations and truancy if applicable. Home-based school communication and still being part of that home-based school. Extracurricular activities and explaining to everyone that students can participate in those clubs at their home-based school. Sports, dances, graduation, or any other home-based activities or offers that the campus had. And then making sure that students also understood that they had to go take standardized tests or credential tests throughout the school year. These basics have been broken down into two categories, students and teachers. So again, we spent a lot of time this year helping the students understand their schedules and encouraging them to participate in live lessons, making sure that they understand the Zoom sessions and the Zoom schedules, and knowing that there's a time each day that the teachers have available to assist them during interventions or small group instruction or one-on-one time, where the teacher can help them. So if the teacher sees that they're struggling with a concept that day, she can say, hey, join me at 10 o'clock for an intervention or a small group time or some office hours. That's available for every student in our program for every grade band. The teachers also offer tutoring at the end of each day. Again, as a program, we're housed together all in one location. So as I mentioned before, some of the teacher basics are we're in close proximity of each other. So a lot of times the students will say something to one teacher and not realize that the teacher's sitting next to another teacher. So that's been good for us. The teachers are required to make parental contact weekly. We make both positive and negative contact for students. So if a student's not doing well in class or failing, the teacher makes contact with the parent and they discuss what they can do moving forward. So whether it's catching up on overdue assignments or extending deadlines or providing accommodations. We also offer what we call fun monthly virtual events where we host a variety of different activities. For example, in March, we featured Mardi Gras activities. So we talked about the history of Mardi Gras, and one of the teachers had the students make mini king cakes. Last month, we featured LEAP activities. So one of the teachers created slime, which we related to LEAP by easing their anxiety and providing some stress relief. We also featured some important information, such as healthy snacks that they can eat the morning of LEAP, or different breakfast ideas as well. The teachers do participate in regular activities that a school would normally participate in as well. We have leadership meetings every Monday. We have a teacher check-in every Tuesday, and then the teachers participate in professional learning communities every Wednesday. We also have grade level meetings or faculty meetings as needed. Some of the strengths of our program is we do offer that flexible schedule that comfortably fits in the plans of our busy parents and students. Students are comfortable in a learning environment that's suitable for them. A lot of the parents and students were uncomfortable with the pandemic, so they did opt for virtual for that reason, so they are comfortable with our program. We do have live engaging lessons, so every day our teachers are online Zooming all day, every day. The students can access our learning environment anywhere. So we have a lot of kids that go on vacation or travel with their parents working. They can still participate with us and complete assignments through their activities. Again, students can participate in sports and extracurricular activities at their home-based schools. They have extended use of technology. They utilize the Tier 1 curriculum adopted by the state. We feel we're creating successful independent learners. We are teaching them time management skills. We offer them one-on-one time with their teachers during designated office hours, small group intervention time, or one-on-one tutoring. And then we do have enthusiastic, committed teachers who help students achieve academically in their future endeavors. Now, this year we have not been without obstacles or mistakes along the way. We often call it flying the plane as we build it, so we've learned a lot over these last few months. We have a lot of goals in place moving forward to help those address those challenges that we've faced. One is a formal document. So we didn't have anything in writing starting this year, so throughout the year we've been working on some handbooks. We have now created a parent-student handbook for our virtual students, a teacher handbook, a home-based school handbook, and a PBIS handbook, because we want to reward those students who show the positive aspects of our program by rewarding them through our PBIS expectations. Those are featured on the slideshow, so if they exhibit characteristics of our vision, independent, show their independent activities, respectful, they're timely to their Zooms, if they're unique with their assignments, if they're attentive, or if they're learning. So that's our virtual acronym. We did have some teacher turnover this year, specifically our 3rd through 5th grade math and science teacher. We're on our 3rd teacher this year. Along with our high school elective teacher, we're on our 3rd teacher this year. So those two subjects and grade bands have struggled throughout this school year. Student attendance has also been an issue. While we understand some students cannot attend live Zoom, we do offer a flexible schedule. We have students who are almost missing in action at times. So the hurricane also hurt us. A lot of students did not have internet for an extended period of time. And while we did offer them the opportunity to return back to school, many stayed with our program, but they lost that structure of that daily live lesson, so a lot of them weren't motivated to come back and resume studies. We're hoping that PBIS handbook addresses that issue as well to kind of motivate them and give them some incentives next year. Again, we do feature monthly events to involve our parents and our students, but we hope to continue that through phone calls, emails, and promoting our program and informing our parents through social media. As I mentioned earlier, our high school electives, the teachers do teach some core subjects and some elective subjects, but we have used a program called Edgenuity this year. I do have a team of teachers that are currently working on building high school elective courses to teach virtually so that we can rely less on that program and they can feature live lessons through high school electives as well. That will help us a lot. We also hope to increase our school communication and making sure that the schools know how our virtual program operates and what we can do to assist them, and just understanding that we're all in this together and just understanding the students' records and their needs moving forward. We're hoping that that handbook that we've created helps with that communication as well. And then lastly, with the new SEL component of social emotional learning, we'll add some components of that to the virtual program next year. This is our new logo this year. If you notice, we have the flame that you guys have as a district. So we're part of TPSS Virtual. Our logo was completely different, so our new colors are the same. We have the little mouse that features our virtual program. Our website has been updated, and there are 3 different enroll options on the website that everyone can visit to enroll in our program. There's also some parental videos and student videos, TikTok videos that have been created to advertise and market our program during our enrollment period. And there's also some testimonials from students and parents that anyone can view for our program. And then these are just some pictures. Ms. Bose made some slime to teach the students how to relax during LEAP. Those are some Mardi Gras king cakes that one of the students made during February. That was our team in December. We were featured at the job fair a couple of months ago, and then one of our teachers Zooming. So that's our TPSS virtual program. Anyone have any questions?
No questions? Well, thank you and happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
One thing, Ms. Nickens, I don't have any questions for you. I am experiencing the progress that you guys are continuously making on improving this program. I know where it started, and most certainly some of the issues that you talked about, I've dealt with those very same things with my grandson, who's a virtual student, and I think you guys are doing a great job. I think that even with his struggles, he is getting past that, and you guys are doing a great job of helping him to achieve that goal. I see this as a wonderful tool that we'll be able to use for a lot of different things. I have been a proponent of this virtual learning since it started, and you guys have most certainly, done an excellent job with it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Bush?
Are any of those teachers certified?
Yes, sir. Only 3 of our teachers are not certified, and they came to us after those 2 teacher turnovers. So they were the 3rd teachers that we hired, but initially they were all certified.
I think some of those teachers are in the audience.
Yes, I do have some staff with me tonight. Ms. Kerr is a high school elective teacher. Ms. Battaloris, 3rd through 5th grade math and social studies, and Ms. Delta Morrison, 6th through 8th grade math and social studies.
Thank y'all.
I had one more.
Mr. Duncan?
Thank you.
had one more question, if you could go over it. Is you had mentioned that there's criteria to get in the program or
Yes, sir.
to get accepted.
Yes, sir.
Generally, what is that criteria? Like, what would keep somebody from getting in the program when they apply?
Yes, sir. So the intent to return, they have to be passing successfully with our program in order to return. They received a sorry if they were failing more than one subject. So that would be the same for their application process. If they're currently failing at their home-based school, they would be denied acceptance into the virtual program.
Okay, so let's say this is a new student, never been in our system, they live in the area now, and they're kindergartners. If they apply, do they automatically get in?
Yes, sir.
But then to stay in, they would have to be successful in the program.
Yes, sir.
Got it.
And then they also have to attend LEAP in person for the spring, the standardized test.
You said
And-
LEAP,
Yes, sir. The LEAP test?
but that doesn't start until second grade, right? Third grade.
Yes, sir. For
Okay.
third through high school, yes, sir.
Okay.
And then high school students, if they're a Jump Start pathway, they have to go to the home-based school for those credential tests. And if they don't take their credential test, that would prevent them from coming back to us.
A question too.
Yes,
So you said if they're failing in their home-based school right now, they would be denied.
Yes.
What if a virtual setting would make them do better in their studies? What if they're just struggling being around people? Why would we deny them going to the virtual school?
And some of that is principal discretion as well. So if a student, let's say, I was looking at some applicants today, some of the students are in high school, 9th grade, they have 0 F in every subject. So that would be a conversation that the principal and I could have to determine whether they would be a good fit virtually. But if they're just not performing academically because they don't want to succeed,
Right.
it would be different than maybe if they,
So if like a
could do
fifth
the
grader
work.
or a fourth grader is having anxiety and just can't be around people or something like that, they would be considered even if they're failing?
Yes, ma'am. And everyone is considered, and, it is a communication process with the principals as well. They do have last say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thanks
Thank
to the teachers for coming out tonight in this weather, too.
Thank you.
And happy birthday.
All righty, moving on to consider committee reports. Capital Outlay Committee of the Whole, March 29, 2022. Do I have a motion to adopt?
I'll make a motion to accept.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Rose, second by Mr. Tom. Any discussion on capital outlay? Call for a vote.
Voting is open. Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
Moving on to Finance and Audit Committee Report, March 29, 2022. Hear a motion to adopt.
I'll make a motion to accept the
Second.
committee report.
Motion by Ms. Rose, second by Mr. Duncan. We have any discussion?
Yes, sir, Mr. President. I'd like to add something to this. I stood here.
Which item?
I'd like to amend the one about giving the employees the $1,000.
All right, so let's go ahead and vote on A through F, and then we can discuss G and anything you want to amend or whatever on subsection G, is to consider the approval of a spring salary supplement.
So we're voting motion to approve items
A through G?
A through G.
Yes,
Okay.
A through F.
A through F.
I'm sorry, A through F.
A through F?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So the motion by Mr. Bush is to pull and consider separately agenda item G.
Right.
Is that?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And so I'll.
Okay, so there any discussion on A through F? There's no discussion on A through F. I call for a vote.
Voting is open. Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
All right, now we'll go back to G. I guess I need a motion to adopt section G.
Move to adopt agenda item G from the Finance Committee.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Duncan, second by Mr. Toller. Now we have discussion.
Mr. President, thank you for allowing me an opportunity. You know, I stood there a month ago and I basically said that, you know, you've heard my discussion, my arguments about the bus drivers. You heard me pulling for them. You understand the reasoning behind it. I think they just went above and beyond. I think they're dealing with a department that we all realize that's been in disarray, plus the students, plus the one-on-one communication that they have with the students in their bus. I mean, there's a lot of things. And also, let me say, since this meeting that we had last time, and some of my colleagues up here and other people in the central office are telling me, well, Mr. Bush, you can get all these phone calls about everybody else wanting to do the same thing you want to do for the drivers. I got 0 calls from cafeteria workers, custodians, secretaries. I've got 0 calls from anybody to say, please include us in here. So here's my amendment to this, along with $1,000 that all the employees are going to get. My amendment is that the bus drivers, the owner of the drivers receive an additional $1,200. The bus drivers receive an additional $800. This number came from Mr. Schneiderbach today. The total will be $289,520, and it can come out of the 2 cents sales tax that we collect, so we have a big surplus. And that would be my amendment, Mr. President.
So the motion is to supplement section G to provide that owners of school bus receive an additional $1,200 and bus drivers $800?
Yes.
Is that correct?
One time.
Okay.
To go along with the $1,000 that we're doing.
All right, is there a second to this motion?
Yeah, I was second.
Second by Mr. Jerry?
Absolutely.
I'm sorry?
Can we clarify the funding source?
To come from the 2 cent sales tax.
You mean the half cent?
No. From the regular sales tax, not the half cent, the regular one. Because that balance is what now, Mr. Steinbach?
We have funds in that, I mean, it's our general fund, we're gonna have surplus of $4 million in our general.
Out of that $4 million surplus. And the number you gave me was $289,000, I think?
That's correct.
Okay, motion's been made and second. We have a discussion.
Schengen has a question.
I'm sorry.
Okay, the motion is to approve supplement item G, that owners of school buses receive a one-time $1,200, and what was the second half?
And drivers, not owners, drivers, school bus drivers receive an additional $800. And it will come from the
General fund.
general fund.
Okay, let me read this to make sure I have it correct. Motion to approve supplement item G, that owners of school buses receive a one-time $1,200 and school bus drivers receive an additional $800 funded from the general fund? Is that
No.
correct?
His motion is to approve agenda item G as recommended by the Finance Committee with an additional supplement just for bus drivers, with $1,200 going to contract bus drivers and an additional $800 to the other bus drivers, with that additional supplement coming out of the general fund. Is that right, Mr.?
Yes, sir.
He just
But
reworded.
he wants agenda item G as presented and approved,
Plus a
but then,
supplement.
plus an additional supplement.
So just add the word plus from what you had, you're good, in
Yes.
addition to. And we are already giving how much?
$1,000 to all full-time employees, 500 to any employee that works less than 5 hours a day.
And would these bus drivers be considered 1,000?
They're already at the $1,000 mark.
Okay.
That already gets them above the threshold that we're looking at?
Yes, but when we're ready, I'll have, you
You
ready?
want me to reread it to you?
Sure.
Motion to approve item G as recommended, plus an additional supplement for school bus owners to receive a one-time $1,200, and school bus drivers receive an additional one-time $800 funded from the general fund.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yes. Okay, Mr. Duncan?
Just before we vote on this proposed amendment, I did want to I guess, remind the board and our bus drivers, at our last regular school board meeting, we had a representative of our bus drivers present, I think, some very good points and things that they wanted us to work on. And since then, let me. Okay.
Mr. Moody, speak to the board?
Oh.
Yeah. I'm a little confused. I heard this was coming up tonight, but I thought it was an extra pay raise just for the bus drivers. But the supplemental check thing, there are very particular rules you have to follow past that. And ordinarily, we do that as a 14th check at the end of the year. So there's some law. I'd like a chance to research that. I think there's a particular restriction about how you do it, and it can be limited to just instructional personnel. And it has to come at the recommendation of the superintendent. So I would ask that you at least table this until we can get some more additional information.
So I would need a motion to table.
But before I make a motion, can I talk about a few things, and then I'll make a motion?
Sure.
Because once we make the motion to table, it's a non-debatable
It's
motion.
non-debatable, correct.
So, but I did want to point out that at that meeting, there were a lot of things brought to the board's attention, and I want to point out the things that the board has done and the administration has done in response to the things that were brought to our attention. One of the things that the administration actually already had started before our last board meeting was to set up a superintendent advisory committee just for folks that were part of the transportation department. And they have already started meeting with the superintendent so that advisory committee has direct access to the administration to provide them insights on things that need to be corrected. In addition, one of the things that we just voted to approve out of the finance committee was to bring in an outside company to come in and do a full top to bottom down audit or review of the operations of the transportation department so that we can have some expert insight that is an independent set of eyes on the way that we're running that department, and they can provide the board with some recommendations on how we can improve the operations of that department. We also have in the works bringing in someone to help review the way that we do routing. Additionally, the Finance Committee has already approved a permanent pay increase next year for our bus drivers and all of our support employees so that they will be making 1.5% more than their similar counterparts in Livingston Parish. Addition to that, the Finance Committee has recommended the passage of a $1,000 supplement for our full-time bus drivers and all other employees that are full-time and a $500 supplement for any employee that works less than 5 hours a day. With the supplements that have already been approved this year and the pay increase that was approved for this current school year, our bus drivers are going to make this year $4,100 more this year than they made last year. So we have responded to the request for additional competitive salaries with that $4,100 increase on average for our bus drivers this year. Additionally, the board asked the administration to do a fuel study to ensure that all of our bus drivers, to ensure and confirm that all of our bus drivers are receiving 100% reimbursement for any fuel that is used to run their routes for the school system. The administration has confirmed that we do have a procedure in place that reimburses all of our bus drivers 100% any fuel cost for the work that they do for the school system. That was communicated in detail to all of our bus drivers earlier this month and was also discussed, I believe, with the advisory committee. Is that right, Ms. Stilley?
Yes.
We've also earlier, just a few minutes ago, begun the process of purchasing new buses with the plan to phase in buses that include air conditioning. Finally, one of the things that was brought to our attention is that we have not done a route draft in the last 2 years. It's my understanding that the route draft has been scheduled and announced. Is that right, Mrs. Stilley?
Yes.
All right.
May 21st, I believe.
Okay.
24th.
So I want it to be clear that we have been very responsive. I think we've done a lot of good work already. We have also offered the assurance that once the salary study is complete, that we are going to consider additional salary increases for all of our employees. One of my concerns, in addition to this being against policy, as Mr. Moody has pointed out,
He did not point that out. He said he was checking it out to see if it was against policy. Is that true, sir?
Well, there's very specific rules you have to follow.
But you said you were going to check it out and see if it was against the policy.
but
At
I'm
this
talking
time, we
about
don't know.
procedurally adding this at the last minute to the agenda, which is what's being proposed, that it does violate, I think, policy. But most importantly, it violates fairness to the rest of our employees. Our cafeteria workers, our janitors, our paraprofessionals, all of our employees deserve to know ahead of time when this board is considering doing something special just for one subset of employees. They ought to have the opportunity to know before this evening that something like this is being considered. They ought to have the opportunity to come and let us know whether they object or not. But to put it on the agenda at the last minute without them having notice and an opportunity to be heard is not fair to the rest of our employees.
Mr. Westmore, did you not answer me a month ago when I stood in this chair and said that this night I would be talking again about another supplement for the bus driver? Sir, did I ask you that question on how to do it? I'm speaking, Mr. Duncan.
No, I believe
you
I
had
was,
your
I
turn.
was speaking. You interrupted me.
You had your turn.
Hold on.
No, I was
Because
speaking.
I don't think that I should be accused of doing this like on the spur of the moment when this has been going on for a month. That's the only thing I want to say about it.
Okay.
I asked the Mr. President out loud how to do it. Correct.
If I can
Okay, now I'm finished.
continue
I just
my,
wanna make sure
Mr.
that's-
President, if I could continue my remarks, and then, of course, Mr. Bush can
Yes,
say
he
whatever.
can say after
he's
finish.
recognized by the chair, which is the proper procedure. But the proper procedure to get something before this board, particularly when it involves an expenditure of almost $300,000, is to put it before the Finance Committee, just like we did on these other items, have the administration review it and give us an impact on what it will involve with the budget, and then for it to lay over for a week. That is the procedure. That is not the procedure that was done to do this. And you do not give people the opportunity to be heard and notice if you don't put it on the agenda and run it through the committee like it's supposed to be done. You can talk about it all day in a meeting, but until you actually give proper legal notice and follow the policy, people are not taking notice. And that was not what was done in this case.
Mr. Westmoreland, it's like.
Hold on, are you through, Mr. Dunn?
I'm done.
I'd
Thank
just
you.
like to
Yes, sir.
continue. On March 16th is when I texted you, Mr. President, and told you my intentions. That's March 16th. And when I let you know what I wanted to do and also ask you the board meeting, I also talked to the Finance Committee Chairman about it before the Finance Committee meeting, and I asked questions and I looked for guidance, and I said I was going to do it tonight, and not one person told me I was violating policy, and no one has called me. No one has called me since the last school board meeting and said, could you include us in there? Would you look at us? And you know what? I'd love to involve other departments in our school system too, and not just the bus drivers. They're the only people that's called me 80,000 times in the last year about the problems in the transportation department. And so that's my answer to that. So if I did do something against policy or whatever, I sure gave everybody an opportunity, Mr. Duncan, yourself included, because I said a month ago I would be doing this. And we have chatted about other things since that time, and you never told me how to do it or doing it this way was wrong.
Mr.
That's all I can.
We have chatted about this. We had meetings. Mr. Bush has been on this board for more than 3 years. It's not my job to tell him how to do this procedurally. We discussed it. He asked for help. I've offered help with the proposal that we brought to the Finance Committee. You then now have decided you want to do something different than what was proposed by the Finance Committee. And all I'm saying is that to do it this way does not give the rest of our employees proper notice and an opportunity to be heard if they have an objection to doing something special just for bus drivers. So with that, Mr. President, I would move to table the proposed amendment to this, to item G.
And Mr. Westmoreland, can I
Motion's
have
been
one more
made.
statement, please?
See if there's a second.
Is there a second to the motion to table?
I second it.
Second by Mr. Toller. Well, it's non-discussion once you have a motion to table, so we have to have a vote on it. And if it's not tabled, then yes, you can speak some more.
I just want to say I welcome anybody to call me. I'd like to help all departments.
Okay. Call for a vote. Ms. Cindy?
Voting is open.
So can I get it clear, we're tabling this until Mr. Moody can get back with us to let us know? Could you help us, Mr. Moody, on what's
Voting
your
is
suggestion to do?
open. Motion to table.
Motion to table.
Motion to table.
Until we get further.
That
Well,
was not the
It has to be
motion.
put back on the agenda.
No,
You better explain it.
this is a motion to table the proposed amendment. It can be brought back via the normal procedure. So at whatever point Mr. Moody finishes his research and Mr. Bush brings it back before the board under proper procedure, it can come back. The board has already said that once we get the salary study back, that we intend to revisit salaries and additional supplements.
Ask everybody to go ahead and vote on the motion to table.
Could I ask Mr. Moody one more question? How long do you think it'll be before you can get back with us and let us know?
I can have it by your next meeting.
Okay.
What I'm clear about is that you just can't give a random bonus to any state worker. That's clearly excluded by the Constitution for past due work, given a bonus.
We just did it, so I don't understand. We just did it with everybody.
There's a narrow exception you can do it for, and we have to be very careful about that. It's done in other systems, but it has to come through the recommendation of the administration. And so far, the Attorney General's opinions have been it's for instructional personnel, for taking on extra duties. So there may be a way we could structure this to accommodate bus drivers too, but I need to look at that.
Thank you.
Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
So we need to now have discussion on
G.
G as written. You have something, Ms. Janice?
Okay, I had several calls, and I just want some, just so that we can clarify on, employees that are on medical leave. Mr. Jinko and I have discussed it, and could you clarify, Mr. Jinko?
Employees that were on or are on medical leave during the third 9 weeks would not be eligible for the supplement.
That's what's written in the motion.
The concern was, we have some employees that are on medical leave, that are kind of legally no fault of their own.
Yes, ma'am.
And how are we handling those?
Same rules. If they were out the entire third 9 weeks on a medical leave, workers' comp leave, or a leave without pay, they would not be eligible for the supplement,
Because they have to do additional duties.
for the COVID supplement.
That's a requirement.
Be in compliance with what they were just talking
Do additional duties, so if they're not at work at any time during the period, they wouldn't be eligible for those additional duties.
That'd be
This is not general
federal
fund dollars.
law,
This
right?
is COVID
Yes.
funds.
Yeah, where you,
Is there a threshold to that? So let's
Yeah.
say someone was out 7 weeks, they worked 2 weeks. Is there a threshold to where they
If
would?
they work at all, they get
If they work at all, they're going to get at least half. Yes, sir.
Right.
okay.
And our intent is not to keep it from anybody. Our intent is to
Intent
reward
is to-
all those.
Correct.
But we have to follow what.
Right, we don't want, as in 3 years when they audit, and then we have to pay this from the general fund. That's what we do not.
We'd have to pay them back if we
These are-
shouldn't have paid
These are
them.
federal funds that are using their requirements to do that.
Right.
You have to pay you can pay your employees for additional services, and that's what our employees, related to COVID, that's what our employees have done during the third 9 weeks. Those that have come to work and have appeared up at work have done extra duties.
Right.
All right. Any further discussion? Call for a vote.
Voting is open.
The original motion, the original.
Get the regular second.
Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
Moving on to the Policy Committee of the Whole, March 29, 2022.
Mr. President, move to consider separately agenda item A from the Policy Committee and to approve as recommended by the committee agenda items B through D.
All right, so we're segregating and going to vote on or discuss items B through D, correct?
Correct.
Any discussion on items B through D?
Through D.
There's no discussion on B through D. We will take a vote on that, Miss Cindy.
You need a second?
Did you get a second? Second?
Second by Miss Bailey Simmons.
Voting is open. Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
Going back to Section A.
So on Section A, Mr. President, at the conclusion of our Policy Committee meeting, I had committed to the board that I would continue working with Mr. Moore on some possible revisions to accommodate some of his concerns. Mr. Moore and I have concluded those discussions. And at this time, I would offer the substitute motion that the board adopt the map and resolution that is at your desk and that was circulated to you earlier as our final redistricting map.
Motion's been made for a substitute motion for the final revision as of today. Do I have a second to that?
Second?
No,
No.
Mr. Moore is going to say.
Oh, he already did, I'm sorry.
Mr. Moore, yeah, he
I'm
issued a
sorry.
second. That's fine. Do we have discussion on this?
I mean, I'm happy to answer any questions. I would, it's been a very lengthy process. I want to thank all of the board members for your patience and work to get this done. I want to thank Mr. Garrett and Mr. Blair, who is, I believe Mr. Blair is here, for all of their patience and work. But I think that after a very lengthy journey and a lot of detailed discussions, we have finally reached the point of having a map that has the consensus support of the board. Oh, I did have one typographical error that I needed to point out to the board members, and I've already made this correction on the resolution that Ms. Jenkins has, but on the resolution itself in District G, this is properly reflected in the maps, but there's a typo in District G on the first line where it says 141A. That needs to be struck from the resolution. And then we need to add precinct 45 to that line between the numbers 43 and 46. So the motion is to adopt that resolution and map as presented, but correcting those typographical errors.
And as you said, the map itself is correct.
The map is correct, and the resolution that Ms. Jenkins has corrected those typos, but I wanted to bring those to your attention because those typos are not corrected on the resolution that is at your desk.
Any further discussion?
No, but Mr. Duncan, thank you so much. You have been excellent working with these advisors and the advisors. Thank you for your patience. And I think we're all a little happier now than we were a couple of weeks ago. At least I know I am. So thank you for your hard work. We appreciate you.
Yes.
Call for a vote.
Voting is open. Voting is closed. Motion passes with Mr. Bush abstaining.
All right. Moving on to superintendent. This time, the board would like to present Ms. Stilley with a card due to the recent loss of her brother, and we just wanted to give our condolences to the superintendent at this time, and here's your card.
Thank y'all very much. I appreciate that.
I just want to make a comment. I knew Wayne very well. He was one of a kind of man from Pumpkin Center. He might have been the most well-known guy in his family, because I think y'all called him Pawpaw. He got to that point or something.
Oh, yeah.
He was a gentle giant of a man, and he was an outdoorsman. And Miss Stilley has lost two really close family members recently, and I don't know how your family's doing it, Melissa, but you know, we kind of grew up together, and I grew up with Wayne too. And man, I'm just praying for your family, just letting you know that.
Thank you. I appreciate the card and the thoughts and the prayers. Thank y'all.
Okay. Moving on to A, consider approval of this substantial completion certificate for the Midway Elementary School roof replacement project by Certified Roofing and Sheet Metal LLC. You have anything you want to say on that, Ms. Stilley?
You have anything?
Mr. Brett?
Board President, the Midway roof project is substantially complete. The work has been done. We'd like the board to go ahead and accept the substantial completion so we can start the lien period on this project.
Do I hear a motion to adopt?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
It's a pretty roof.
Yep. Motion's been made and second. Do I have any discussion? Call for a vote.
Voting is open. Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
Any other updates, Ms. Dilly?
Yeah, just real quick, this Friday is Good Friday, and so Thursday afternoon, when our students get on the bus, our schools will be closed Good Friday, and they'll be closed next week, and our students will return on April the 25th back on our school campuses. Of course, we'll have testing going on during that time. And then we'll have about 4 weeks until the end of school in May, and we'll get out before Memorial Day. I don't know the exact date, but it's the Friday, I think, before, or Thursday before Memorial Day. So we're on the finish strong stretch of the year, and so I just wanted to mention that. And also the testing, unlike years ago when I was a teacher and even a principal, we had 1 week of testing designated. We tested that week. Now it seems like it goes on and on, like the Energizer battery. So it goes on for weeks. So different times, so there's different schedules. And, one school may be testing because it's on the Chromebooks. And so you have different grade levels testing it on different weeks. So that's why the testing will go on for many weeks. So just wanted to update the board on that. And again, thanks for the condolences and the prayers for our family. I appreciate it.
All right, moving on to other board action. Consider approval to enter into a cooperative endeavor agreement for timber sales on 16th section lands with St. Tammany Parish School Board and Washington Parish School Board. Mr. Schnallbach.
Thank you, Mr. President. Louisiana law requires that the sale of timber on 16 section land, which is located in a township that is spread over multiple parishes, that each parish school board must approve and conduct the timber sale. In an effort to simplify the process, we have asked both St. Tammany and Washington Parish to enter into a cooperative endeavor agreement with us, allowing us, as the majority share of the property in the township, to conduct the timber sale. We will be required to advertise in all 3 school districts' official journals and obtain approval from their administration prior to the sale of the timber. We will be required to reforest the property land, which we do already because we manage the property, and all expenses will be paid from the proceeds of the timber sale. Tangipahoa Parish has 92% of the township, St. Tammany Parish has 5%, and Washington Parish has 3%. I ask the board consider to approve the resolution allowing us to enter into this cooperative endeavor agreement, allow the administration to sell the timber that's on our 16 section property that is located out in the Unitas area.
Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Toller, second by Mr. Mendes. Any discussion?
I have a question.
Go ahead, Mr. Duncan.
This adoption only authorizes the doing the cooperative endeavor agreement. It does not necessarily, there's still a separate process to actually approve the sale and
Correct.
and notice and all of that stuff,
Correct.
right? Okay.
Any other questions? Call for a vote.
Voting is open. Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
All right, moving on to board member comments. Mr. Jerry.
Okay, I'm going to be very short. I first of all want to congratulate all of the recipients of the student awards tonight. Those achievements are something that require a lot of diligence and dedication. And I've had a couple of students from a couple of my children who have been in that classification. So I know how proud the parents must be that their children have received those that recognition tonight. And there are, A lot of things to actually mention tonight. I'm not going to get into them. I'm glad that we have finally gotten through on the redistricting, remapping, and I'm just want to assure every person who is concerned that though we had a 33% population, African American population count by the Census Bureau, we are a group in the community that has been granted the opportunity to purchase homes in a lot of the new subdivisions that are being built. And so our population is large, but it's scattered. And there was a lot of anticipation about 3 districts. And after long and careful consideration, it was realized that the two districts that we have are strong, and we still have influence in some of the other districts as well. So that's pretty much it.
Thank you. Ms. Dominguez?
Okay.
Good. Mr. Toller?
Yeah, just to echo what Mr. Moore said, and he's right about that, because in my own community, we see that, on both sides of the river, something that was different probably 20 or 30 years ago. Our parish as a whole, Mr. Moore, I believe, is more desegregated, which is a testament to the work that this parish has been doing, and just people feeling comfortable living in different places. So, I applaud that. And once again, just congratulate the students that were here tonight and their families. What an accomplishment. I think I heard a 34 on the ACT.
Yeah.
I got that if I added 2 of my attempts together. So congratulations to all of them and their families.
Ms. Janice?
Yes, first I would like to say congratulations to the students, and I'm just proud to be able to represent Kentwood, Roseland, Amy, and Independence, and part of Independence with Ms. Robbins. So I get to really, really be proud of all of the students for their achievements. Also, I would like to echo what Mr. Moore said. This coming to the conclusion of the redistricting, that took a lot of long hours, and I just want to applaud Mr. Moore, because, he worked tirelessly, trying hard to find, and Mr. Showers, we all just put in time and looking at maps, and till we just cross-eyed it trying to find another seat. However, because of the scatteredness, it was just, legally impossible to split those precincts and come up with a designated area for the 3rd seat. But again, I like the way we worked together, and I like the way that we came together, and we're going to continue to come together to represent all of our children. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Janice. Ms. Robin?
Yep, want to just say congratulations to all of our students as well. Seeing the amount of people that we had in this room, it's heartwarming to know that those parents and everybody supported these children. I just wish we could do that for every event, not just for, a student of the year, but for every event to have our rooms filled like this. It would be amazing. I thank Mr. Jerry and Janice, because the amount of work you all had to put in to do this. We all work so well together. I've enjoyed working with y'all these last 3 years, and I really think it's a testament to all of us of how we came together to make our parish better. And that long parish that we have, it just seems impossible to break it down anyway. And you all worked with us, we worked with you, and we all thank you to Mr. Brett for really putting the work in to get our districts the way they needed to be. It really was a hard work and a group effort to make that happen. Congratulations to the Ponchatoula Strawberry Festival, because they had record-breaking crowds this year. My daughter was a past Strawberry Queen, and I know the hard work it takes for that board to put into making that festival happen. I was there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so I want to say congratulations to Mr. Jeff Wright and his board for an amazing Strawberry Festival this year.
Mr. Duncan?
Would just say, it has been, this board is great to work with. I've really enjoyed it. I do want to apologize to Mr. Bush if I was a little testy tonight. As y'all know, I've been on a diet for a long time. Today,
Don't apologize, man.
Tonight in
Makes
particular,
people watch it.
I have not eaten well, so it does make you a little grouchy. I do love all of y'all, and I enjoy working.
You know how our ratings went up when me and Mr. Toller were testing each other?
Angry. All right, Miss Sandra?
Yeah, I want to also congratulate all our students tonight, and it is a wonderful thing to see the audience filled up with the parents and grandparents and all those that are so proud of their students, because really tonight what we saw is really why we're here. That's what it's all about. Also, too, I had the privilege of attending the IB breakfast at Hammond High this week. And every year that I go, I sit there and I am so amazed at these students. I could never have done what they do and stand up there and speak like they do. They're so articulate, and it's just like they're not 17. They seem like they're just so much older, like they've already finished college. Of course, some of them are halfway through probably by now anyway. But either way, I'm just so impressed with that. That's one of the most amazing programs that we have ever had in our system since I've been on the board. It's just wonderful to watch these kids get up and speak before people like it's not a big deal. They're just so articulate. Also, too, I wanted to say that this week also, I was able to go to Southeastern with the alternative school students on a bus. I didn't ride the bus, but they took them there on a bus. Ms. Pat Morris led the group there and had it all set up where these kids, 25 or 30 of them, could go to Southeastern, go to the student union, sit there and hear speeches by people that had made it, and that let them know that they could make it. But they got a taste that there is a better way by going to Southeastern and seeing students there and being in that environment and seeing people care enough about them to come speak to them. And Dr. Hatcher, the doctoral program at Southeastern, had a big role in this. And then they took them in the cafeteria and got to eat with all the college students there. It was just such a blessing, and it was wonderful, wonderful to see them. And I'm telling you, I saw them as I spoke also. They didn't move. They was just wonderful. 25 or 30 kids there listening to these speeches, and mine was titled, "You Can Do It." And they were very attentive. And it's just heartwarming to me to see what they're doing at the alternative school for these kids that would be on the streets or elsewhere, and giving them a chance to know that they could do better, and that there's a better life and a better way. And I'm so proud that we have a place for them to learn that, and we have people that care about them.
Hey, Mr. Bush?
Seeing the students here were great tonight, but let's don't ever forget what we're doing this for, the student learning. I know Mr. Jinko made a statement one night, the ACT is where the money's at. I'm going to say it like this. I sat here 3 years ago, Punchville High School had 40 students with a 28 or higher. Tonight they had 12. I'm going to bring that out again. 3 years ago we had 40 at Punchville High School. Tonight we had 12. Let's don't ever lose our focus. The ACT is where the money's at. My son saved me $38,000 by making a 28 on his ACT and having a 4.0 at Punchville High School. And he's going to walk away in 2 more semesters with a computer technology degree that he's actually got paid every semester $600+ to go to school. Vocational is great. I'm all for it. And that brings me to my next point. Did y'all hear the announcement that we made about Independence High School? How we're going to change that thing around to an advanced technical? Who knows what that dream is going to be? And that could be a turning point for the northern part of our parish in population and just people in industry and manufacturing plants going there. If that school can become what these visionaries I met with that night with Robin and I was there, it's very exciting to have that there. In redistricting, I'm hearing everybody. The problem is not that. The problem is how the laws make us do it. Because if you can have 10,000 people in your district and only have 5,000 registered voters, or you could have 10,000 people in your district and have 9,000 registered voters. And if that's okay, then we're going to have to break away somehow or another, from how we do it in this world, because when your student body is 55% minority, we have got to figure out how to have more minority representation on a school board if we got to change the rules just for school boards. Because in 10 years, our parish might be 60% minority in the way the population's going. So that's been my complaint, if there's such a thing. Had nothing to do with Brett Duncan, is wonderful, or Danny, or whoever we had spoke to us. I think the plan's great. But we got to figure out a way how we can look at it as people and change when a school population is becoming like ours is becoming, representation. Last thing, and Robin hit it, I mean, the Amy Archer Festival is great. The Sicilian Festival is great. The Italian Festival is great. I go to them. But man, Ponchatoula this weekend it's just incredible. I don't know all that happened or how many people was there. But I know these nonprofits set up on that grounds, and I had a church group that was going to make 4 big pots of pasta light. This is just an example for the entire weekend. Saturday at noon, they were cooking their 4th pot of pasta light already, and was trying to find ingredients just to get through Sunday. So, we have lots and lots of school groups, if you don't know, on the grounds from all over our parish. And to see Hammond baseball booth right next door to Ponchatoula's baseball booth just warmed my heart. And because it's everybody's out there making money and trying to change things up. So, and Robin bragged about Jeff Wright. He did great, but this was God, because God put some weather down there that was just incredible for us. So, in closing, the Italian Festival is not this weekend; it's the next weekend, and I'm asking everybody to go out and support those guys and gals, because they do a lot of hard work putting it on, and we pray for good weather for them also.
Thank you,
Mr. Glenn,
Bush.
can I say one more thing about the Strawberry Festival?
Sure.
Well, congratulations to all the winners tonight, too. We do have some wonderful students. But the Strawberry Festival's nonprofits give most of that money back to our students in scholarships, thousands and thousands upon thousands of dollars back to our students by working and selling hamburgers or whatever they're doing, plus the organizations that are doing it for their booster clubs. So that was a lot of economic value in the community, but also the whole parish, because all the hotels were full, the restaurants were full, people were out and about spending money. So thank you for spending in Tangipahoa Parish.
Yeah, and most of that money comes from outsiders, because I was sitting there thought I'd know people. I didn't hardly know anybody there. So it's wonderful to get that money from other people.
That's right. Yes, I'd like to also congratulate all the students, and it's a testament not only to the students, but to the whole system that contributes to them, all of our employees. I'd like to thank y'all very much for that. Enjoy y'all's Easter break, and just remember that Jesus is still alive. So, this time we'll move on to litigation. Mr. Duncan, you want to read in the cases?
Move to enter executive session to consider the cases of Theodore Cyprian versus Tangipahoa Parish School Board, John Perilou et al. Versus Tangipahoa Parish School Board, Kelly White and Tenaria Washington versus Tangipahoa Parish School Board, Natasha Williams versus Tangipahoa Parish School Board, and Renata Harvey versus Town of Independence et al.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second.
Channel 17, proudly serving the Florida parishes.
You ready? All right, we'll call it back in session now. The case of Cyprian versus TPSB, and the case of John Perilou versus TPSB.
Which one was new act?
I'm
no
reading.
action?
I'm reading the ones that we're going to accept council's recommendation. And E, Natasha Williams versus TPSB. Do you have a motion, Mr. Duncan?
Move to adopt council's recommendation.
That's B, C, and E.
I thought E was no action, but I don't.
No, E is the workers' comp case.
Okay.
Correct.
I'll second.
You beat me, Bush.
Motion made by Mr. Duncan, second by Ms. Dominguez. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, passes. There's no action to be taken on D, Miss Cindy. And the last one is F, case of Renata Harvey versus Town of Independence. Mr. Duncan, you have a motion?
On F, our motion is to waive the conflict of interest upon receipt of an indemnity and hold harmless from the Town of Independence.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Passes unanimously. Anything else to come before the board tonight? Then the meeting is adjourned.